Welcome. I can already feel this energy building. It is, I don't know if you can feel it. We feel a very strong openness in the solar plexus region. And so this is part of that expansion to land fully into who you are. Because once the first center, the stability, is worked on, many of you are still working on stability and sexuality. And the stability is how well are you looking after your body in this world? That's really it. That is your masculine. And when you have those two in harmony, you receive your intuition better. There is an alignment that happens and you receive, it's sort of like this is what it is. That is the tuning. When you actually, it's like you know what I'm seeing? It's almost like this, all of these locks. You know when you put a key into a keyhole, there's all these little, like the first one needs to be the second row, like there is a whole row. That's why it's zigzag like this, right? So it's all these different pathways that needs to match, and each one of you is unique, and you have your own key, and you are your own key to that. You are your own key that slots into place in your energy. You are the remedy in your life. And we mean that literally. We don't mean that in like some kind of metaphor, some kind of cool quote. No, we really mean that. Once you get this energy game, and that your job as a soul is to bring in the remedy to your body, to other situations, everywhere. That is your job. You know? That's what we came here for. That's why we have a body. We're here to cater to have the solar plexus be safe enough, and the whole system be safe enough for that grand energy to enter. It's not because it's fragile or anything. It's just because it only adheres to a certain frequency. That's it. And there is a certain calibration that each human can do to calibrate your system back in harmony. Most beings go around being slightly thwarted, and they don't even know how big of a difference this does in their life. Once you truly shift this balance, your life just suddenly takes a whole new journey. This is when you find your dream life. This is when that avenue opens up. This is when you see nothing of options to do, and then it's almost like someone just pierced in and just opened up a third option for you to go in. That is what this alignment does. It doesn't seem logical. It's not supposed to be working like this. We haven't been taught how reality actually works, how magical it actually can be and can present itself. Like that. Just to emphasize. Yeah, we were a bit thirsty. We have been out all day. Lots of sun. We feel, our body feels very good. And that is the perfect time to make a YouTube video. I hope you can tell that I'm channeling. I don't always say that because they just, you know, the flow just kicks in and then, okay, I'm just running with the flow, you know. So that's how I do it. So far, that can evolve. It usually does. Let's see, what else I want to say. There is magic in the stillness. Get used to the stillness. Appreciate the stillness. Appreciate what else the stillness sort of provokes you to pay attention to, or that sort of catches your attention, almost like a remembering. It is very ancient, the space that we are trying to reach here. It is very ancient. It is a very special and holy frequency that you can land in your human vessel when you have the right balance of how you are maneuvering your body. When you are balanced with the knower and the feeler, then that sets up sort of like the Holy Grail, a container that sort of opens up the vessel, the body, human body, all the electrical components that needs to open for the flow of energy to just run smoothly and come back up again. There is a smoother energy flow. And when there is a smoother energy flow, when your body system opens, there is more energy coming through. And when more energy comes, yeah, we already said that. When more energy comes through, then what happens in the environment is that it shoots out more. And that can mean just stronger contrast. It doesn't always have to mean good, meaning like, oh, I'm on the beach and oh, everything is divine. No, it means that when more light is running through your body, everything that you have inside of you that you've projected, basically disowned, and that doesn't mean like everything. It just means that the things that you're having sort of like an issue with, let's say, they might come and present themselves. And if they do, it depends how well you are handling that situation matters a lot for your frequency. If you are treating that brother or sister anything less than holy, there is no energy is to be maintained here. If you want to honor your light, this is the game. If you want to be in the dualistic perspective, by all means, keep doing the back and forth thing and all of that. But there is an internal alignment that can be had and that can be aligned to. And when you do align to that, miracles happen. You know these manifestations, right? When manifestations become every moment and every moment, and it just keeps growing on itself, sort of, and it just becomes better and better and better. That's sort of what this is. Because once you correct the source, the root source of any sort of split, this masculine, feminine, all the other stuff, they just sort themselves out because they are sort of like small glitches out of that main glitch, sort of, in the human psyche. That's sort of what it is. We are correcting the main motherboard split, and when we do that, it's sort of like we are, this is a very good analogy. It's like the two hemispheres, right? That is literally a depiction of a human being's consciousness in that moment. When a being harmonizes the knower and the feeler, it literally starts to merge together. At the very least, energy-wise. Like I'm sitting here from my logical point of view. I get that this doesn't sound very logical from the dualistic point of view, because we're so trained that it's two. It makes sense though. I can see that it makes sense. Once you harmonize these dualities, these two polarities, and you actually merge with them, that creates changes inside of your body. Literal mutations. That is what we are seeing now with the increase of energy, and we are continuously turning up the dial unless you have felt that already. And I lost them a little bit. All right, where were we? We're talking about the magic of stillness. Yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah. And that gets you in touch with like such a deep place in yourself, where once you are in that place, you feel everything much more. And it's much easier to verify also what we're talking about. And you will feel it. You will feel that what we're talking about is truth. Because truth can only be felt, and there is only there is a resonance with truth, And if it's something you haven't heard before, sometimes, if it's something that you really needed, sometimes your body will even have full-on reactions, and that can take the form of many different things, like all from goosebumps to full-on convulsion. There are many things that can happen that is just the byproduct of what light does, because light just, it just fixes things, but it's not. Sometimes it can be a little bit, hold on to that while as it's going on before it's fully cleared, type of thing. Sometimes it can be a little bit like that, and it always goes in waves. So there is a little bit of holding on, and then you get a little bit of break, and this is the natural cycles of Gaia. Gaia is supporting this ascension that we are starting with through this avenue. So if you wish to join us, there is a link in the bio. We wish to see you there, and we'll talk to you again in the next one. Take care, and we sending you so much love and support from here. Ciao.